Oh yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite features. It's subtle, it's not thrown in your face, but I love it. What's up, superhumans? BT here. I am really excited because today, after much waiting, we have the 4.0, the Whoop 4.0. It's a first look video. I'm super excited for that. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for spending your precious time with me watching one of my videos. I like to create content that's going to help you move, feel, and perform better both mentally and physically. So if you're into that sort of thing, if that sort of thing floats your boat, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, as I just said, this is a first look video. This is not an extensive review. That will come much later, all right? And I'm also going to be taking the approach as if you've already got a 3.0 and you're upgrading to the 4.0. It's just going to make talking to the camera and that point of view a little easier. All right, so there are two major differences between the 3.0 and the 4.0, and those come in the form of hardware changes and software changes. So hardware is the actual body, the sensor array, etc. The software changes are going to be reflected in the app, and we'll get into that later. We're going to start with the hardware. Right off the bat, the Whoop 4.0 is much smaller than the 3.0, 33% smaller to be exact. And if you've got super teeny tiny ballet wrists like I do, this is actually a good thing. Now, what you can't see though is just how robust this little 4.0 feels. It's smaller, but it feels more dense, it feels more robust, it feels like it's made out of aluminum. However, while I was shooting this, Whoop, I had asked them if it was made out of aluminum. They sent me an email and they said it's made out of the same plastic material, but it feels great for some reason. Now, the band that it comes with, this super soft knit, is much softer than the band that comes on the 3.0, so I'm really excited about that. It's much more comfortable. You'll also notice that the clasp has been completely redesigned to make it much easier to put on and off, because now it literally just slides on and off, which is great. I don't know if you knew this, but on the 3.0, if you threaded your band wrong through this, it could negatively interfere with the data that it's collecting. So now you don't have to worry about that, and that's awesome. Probably my favorite feature of Whoop is the battery puck. I've got one here. What makes this so great is that this battery puck just slides on, right? I don't want to shut it again, but this just slides on, so you never have to take the Whoop off, and it can charge while it's on your wrist. However, there was one flaw with this, and I'm sure if you've had your Whoop 3.0 for any amount of time, you've probably experienced this. It's got exposed metal prongs. That's how it charges, obviously. What this meant, though, is it wasn't waterproof, and I don't know about you, but I would hop into the shower every once in a while, maybe jump in a pool, and I've fried a couple of these things. Well, Whoop listened to us, and for the 4.0, it actually has a completely waterproof battery puck. I am so stoked about this. As you can see, it's much smaller to fit the new small size. But essentially, it works the exact same way. You just slide it on, and then it starts charging. Boom, just like that. It's also got USB-C now, rather than micro USB, and I'm stoked about that. It's only because it's more universal. It has nothing to do with data transfer. But how did they make it waterproof, right? There's no longer those exposed metal prongs. What does that mean? Well, now it's wirelessly charging your Whoop 4.0. I suspect that this is going to increase charge times, meaning the charge times are going to take longer. I could be wrong. I'm going to do a test. Make sure you check out the review that's going to come later. But I'm just so happy to have a waterproof battery puck that goes on. It goes on really easily. And now I don't have to worry about buying new battery pucks because I'm an idiot and I walk into the shower with one. Now, the other major change for the 4.0 to the 3.0 is what's going to improve your accuracy, your data collection, and that is this new sensor array. So the sensor array on the 3.0 included 2 green LEDs and 1 photodiode. There's quite a bit more on the 4.0. We've got 5 photodiodes, or 4 photodiodes, sorry, and now we have the addition of red and infrared sensors. Now this 4.0 can take blood oxygen saturation and skin temperature. Finally, there's one change that you can't see in here, and that's because they added haptics. So They use a really interesting spinning motor they've put into here, and now you can get haptic feedback in the form of alarms, 3 different types of alarms to be exact. That's new for the 4.0, and we're going to dive into that when we get into the app. So that covers us on the hardware changes. Let's dive into the software, let's dive into the app and see what is different. And frankly, it's not a lot. And that's a good thing. The best feature about the Whoop is just how easy it makes all of this complicated data to understand. The app, it is so easy to use. Everything that you would want is available right when you first open the app. Let's go to Whoop. It's already up. I get my recovery, my day strain, calories burned, my HRV, and the amount of sleep I want all on one page, front and center. First thing I see when I open the app. And as you can see from the screenshot comparisons, almost everything is exactly the same. How you interact with the data is exactly the same. Whether it's the screens, the main screens of the strain, the recovery, or the sleep, or if you dive into the deeper insights of those categories. Starting a workout is the same. Turning on Sleep Coach is the same. The list of activities is just the same, and I'm totally okay with that. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of the major changes for Whoop 4.0 is this new sensor array. And because of it, we can now track blood oxygen saturation and skin temperature. And you're going to see those new readings in the health metrics page. Now, please help me out with something. I can see it on my 3.0. I can see the health metrics page on my 3.0, but I've heard from some people that they don't have that. So I'm thinking maybe it was just a rollout, a soft rollout, and only some people can see it. Let me know in the comments below whether you can or not. On my 3.0, as you can see, the skin temperature and the blood oxygen saturation is grayed out because I don't have that necessary hardware. But if you look on her app, you're going to notice those 2 metrics. And you can see the blood oxygen saturation. However, you can't see skin temperature because it needs to collect, I believe, 90 days worth of data to establish a baseline. That's how these things work. So it establishes a personal baseline. So when you deviate from that, the health metrics app will let you know that you've deviated. And this is just a small indicator that maybe something's wrong and maybe you're getting sick or something like that. Now let's take a look at alarms. As I mentioned earlier, we now have alarms on 4.0 that sends you haptic feedback. And you might be thinking, big whoop, it's just an alarm. And I would agree with you somewhat, but they've done some cool things to these alarms to make them different than just like, oh, I'm waking up at 8:27 alarm and I'm up. All right, so to do this, let's go on to the home page, and you're going to see the categories down below. The second one from that is your performance assessment page. I want you to click on that. You're going to click on Sleep Coach, but down at the bottom, you're going to see the alarm page. So we want to toggle that on. Once you do, you're going to now see that you can choose from 3 different alarms. Yes, you get a normal alarm, like just set a time and it's going to wake you up. But you can also set an alarm to a sleep goal. So if I want to hit a specific peak, perform, or just get by, I can do that. Or I can just set it to once I'm in the green. Once I'm in the green, my 4.0 will wake me up by sending me a haptic alarm. So I'm gonna select sleep goal, and I'm gonna select peak, and then once I've hit next, now I'm going to see my alarm. I'm just going to set it 6:40, and then I hit save and set alarm. Once I've done that, you're going to see that it's saved. And now at the bottom, you'll notice it's toggled on. You'll see those little wavy haptic feedback thing on your Whoop 4.0 icon. That's it. That's how you set the alarm. Well, there you have it. Quick video, right? There's not a lot of differences yet. And I say yet because pretty soon, I guarantee you, we're going to see new changes to the journal and some of the activities, because now that we can take skin temperature and blood oxygen saturation, that's going to affect the journal and maybe the list of activities. So I'm assuming we'll see some updates pretty soon for that. But I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please hit the like button. It really is the single greatest factor in getting this video seen by more Whoop enthusiasts just like you. And while you're down there, if you want to see more content to help you move, feel, and perform better, both mentally and physically, just hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.